So there's some movement. There's movement for a People's Party, and then there's also Draft Jesse, which is interesting, and it's a very much a long shot. I don't know if you've spoken to anybody from that organization. They're trying, for those of you who just are hearing about this, go to draftjesse.com. And what Draft Jesse is, of course, because we have such a broken, rigged election system, you can't just write in anybody. Many states don't even allow write-in ballots, write-in candidates. And the states that do, there's 39 of them. You have to have a pre-selected list of potential write-in candidates. Otherwise, it won't count. Like, it's just like you write Mickey Mouse, or it'll be the equivalent of writing Mickey Mouse. They don't give a shit. So there's 39 states that just need a handful of electors in each state to get Jesse. And if he's on these 39 ballots, there's 400 electoral votes, which that's enough to win. And all of the people who are fed up, the people who are like, I hate the Democratic Party, I'm going to vote Trump. I hate Trump, the Lincoln, I'm going to vote for Biden, or whatever. All those libertarians, all the independents that might not vote, they would come on board with a Jesse Ventura, especially if he picks somebody like Nina Turner or even Tulsi Gabbard as his VP pick. So what do you think about the Draft Jesse movement? I know it's such a Hail Mary, like it's such a long shot, but it is intriguing and they still have a shot. How do you see this?
I mean, I think people are just looking for anything at this point. We're all desperate. We're all trying to find anything that will, at the very least, form a sort of real opposition to the establishment, to the oligarchy. I mean, I'm all for people trying whatever they can, because at this point, what do you have to lose? One of them is going to be president if none of this works. So I think it would be smart. I think it would have been awesome if the Green Party had nominated somebody like Jesse Ventura as well, but we know how that went, and it's unfortunate that at this moment, we have a lot of the left that's really fragmented. We have people that are, the Green Party, there's no leadership, there's all these ideas and all these great things happening, but we really need to reach down to a lot of the people on the ground. There's a lot of media stuff going on. Social media isn't real organizing as far as like on the ground. And so I think what I would like to see is realistic expectations. Would really like to see actual movement building on the ground. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping at the very least that we can show that there's so much discontent for the choices we've been given and Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I think that insurgency, like that sort of opposition and protest, is really important for the establishment to see, because if they start seeing that, that's when they get scared. When they start seeing people really like not vote for them, I predict we're going to have the lowest election numbers we've ever had, because Joe Biden, as you said, is one of the most uninspiring people out there. But on top of that, it's a pandemic, it's economic crisis. Nobody likes Trump or Biden. So I think we're going to see a very low turnout. But if we use that low turnout to actually have people say, no, we want Jesse Ventura, or we want to support Movement for the People's Party, which is the other one that people are kind of coalescing behind, then I think it's going to say something. At the very least, it's a statement. But I say electoral politics only goes so far. I mean, I think even if we nominate somebody like that, they cheat. The system, it's a catch-22 because they cheat, and the system is rigged, and it's rigged because it's functioning as it should. And as for the oligarchy, so in order to change that system, I don't think we're going to do it through the electoral politics. I think we're going to have to do it through mass protest. And the shitty part is that Americans don't know how to do that. I mean, you look at France, you look at Europe, you look at the Middle East, people rise up and they fight for what they believe in. They have done their constitution multiple times. But in America, we don't do that. We really, we don't know how to do that. We're scared. We are afraid. And so we need to break through that wall and actually go and have direct actions. I think no matter who you support, whether it's Jesse Ventura, whether it's a third party candidate. We've interviewed also Mark Charles, who's a great candidate. There's another candidate for Peace and Freedom, Gloria La Riva, that we're going to be interviewing. I mean, there's all these things happening. And I think it's just, we have to look beyond electoral politics right now.
Well, you bring up a great point. Like, so much, there's been a lot of positive stuff that's come since the, might even been the last time you were on this show, was that first week of the George Floyd protest. And there's been some movement. There's been some you know, some city councils have changed, some stuff like that. But again, it's like, I thought that was going to be it. That week, those weeks and months are going to be like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the revolution. This is where people are going to go, no. And they've had enough. And I give the especially the young people that were protests. You were at many of them. I mean, shot with rubber bullets, tear gas, got their asses kicked and kept showing up for more. But then, like you say, they still don't know. Like, I saw a video in Belarus and a bunch of cops started beating on a guy, and like 100 people surrounded these cops and went, and just kicked their, and like, the cops will start beating on one person and everyone will videotape it in America and go, oh, that's awful, and wait till the cops amass numbers and then everyone runs out. It's like, no, man, you've got these guys 100-1, like, swarm them. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, it's going to take, you watch the protests in France and you'd see guys just list, boom, boom, just like throwing haymakers at cops and just saying, no, we're not going to do this. I mean, like what happened in Tiananmen Square, like somebody just standing in front of a tank going, sorry. And I've seen a lot of bold stuff in these protests, but again, they're very skilled, the ruling class, at dividing the left.
Yeah.
Very skilled at it. This, I doubt all of the Howie Hawkins shenanigans with the Green Party was just like people being petty. I mean, human beings can be insanely stupid and petty, and that's why the human race might go extinct. I don't know what that noise is.
Yeah. I don't know. Something just turned on. I'm sorry. I don't know how to turn it off. Sorry. Can you please turn that off? Okay. Hold on, we're turning that off really quick.
To ensure Toby's first exposure to the board is a positive one, Brandon acclimates him with.
Okay. So as I was saying, I find it hard to believe that like the infighting of the Green Party was just like infighting. I wouldn't be surprised if private intelligence, that's what they did. You look at, I covered this on a government secrets episode with Lee Camp of the COINTELPRO, which is the counterintelligence program the CIA started in the 50s, and they infiltrated the Black Panthers, they infiltrated the KKK, they've infiltrated everybody. I have no doubt that they have people in the Proud Boys. I have no doubt they have people in Antifa. They have no doubt in the Green Party, Black Lives Matter. I have no doubt. And their job is to just keep everybody fighting within each other so that nobody gets together and unifies and says, them, the 1%, they're the problem. The day the like, you know, the American flag, Second Amendment conservative and the lefty get together and go, you know what, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, you're done. The minute they get together is the minute the ruling class is in deep, deep trouble. So they have to do whatever they can.
That's a great point because, like I said, in Florida, there are a lot of Republicans here. Just as there are in certain parts of rural of the West, you know, rural West. But if you talk to them directly, policy wise, like, hey, you know, Nancy Pelosi, sucks. Yeah, she's awful. These Democrats are awful. They're like, oh, yeah, we totally agree with you. You can have these conversations and put it in a way to where if they're a Republican that is fiscally conservative, you're like, look, we're going to be saving a lot of money if we actually put things like a healthcare system where everybody's covered for the basic. That's not anything out of the ordinary. You just have to explain it in a way that people understand, because at the end of the day, most people in America support a Medicare for all system. Yes. It is just how it's explained to them that matters. And it's also, most people in America, I don't think are awful people. I just think they're the loudest voices are the ones that get all the attention. And the Democrats live in their little echo chamber where they think that, you know, attacking Republicans every 5 seconds and calling everybody a racist and pretending that, you know, Joe Biden is such a popular candidate exists. Yeah, it exists in their echo chamber. Same as the Trump supporters who think that Trump can do nothing wrong are in their own echo chamber. But I think most people that you talk to on the street agree that this is not okay, that we need to help small businesses. Like, nobody really addressed small businesses during the pandemic. Right. I mean, like, that wasn't addressed at all. Half of the small businesses in LA aren't coming back. Yeah. They're not. And this is a crisis here. And we're not addressing, we could pull so many people who are libertarians or who are on the right, but they're just done with the system, into the left by talking about policy and actual change and working through these discussions. But the liberals just want to bash and bash and bash. And so this is not how it works. And so, like, I think if we're able to do that, you're right. That's when they're going to be scared when we can come together.
The neoliberals are the worst. I mean, Malcolm X said it, 50 some years ago. I mean, and they keep getting in the way, and the Democratic Party has completely disavowed itself from the working. Both parties, the Republicans, Democrats, both do not give a damn about working class people. The Republicans are a little better at masking it. They're a little better at like giving them the lip service that they think, yeah, they're going to fight for us. The Republicans are going to fight for us, which they're not. I mean, the Democrats, they both don't give a shit about anyone. Look, I've converted, conservatives and libertarians and center-right people on this show. They come on this show, they ask questions in the chat, and I talk to them, and they're like, wow. And when you come at a conservative and you start with, this is how awful the Democratic Party is, then they'll listen. Yeah. Then they'll listen and go, and it's just the same with the Republicans and Trump. And you tell them that, and they go, well, you go, no. I just told you the Clintons are awful. They all need to go to jail. Like they'll like open up to that. And I don't know. There's the neo. I don't know when they're going to.
Well, it's a populism, right? We need to go after, because there's a rising populist movement that's happening right now. And it's because we all realize we're getting screwed no matter where you fall on the left or right. We're all getting screwed. I'm not saying that I'm going to give in and support racism, obviously not. Right. But I think that on a lot of issues like foreign policy, some libertarians are like, they're like, yeah, let's stop wasting money on these endless wars. Let's talk about the Fed. Like let's do these things that we don't do and have these discussions we don't have because of the hyper partisanship that's been built on a team blue or team red. Right. At the end of the day, we all get screwed under team oligarchy, under team corporate America. And so I think shows like this are also a good ways to have those discussions. And when you talk to a Republican and you start by talking about how awful Pelosi is and how awful Clinton is, they don't know where to put you. They're getting confused because what they hear on Fox News is that you're all a bunch of communists, and Kamala Harris is a communist. Yeah. And it's like, no, that's ridiculous. Fox News is just as fake news as CNN is. But of course CNN is, and a lot of the liberals don't want to admit CNN is fake news, but it is. So yeah, that's what we need to do.
It's like when the conservatives hear us laugh when they call Joe Biden a Marxist, and we go, no, he's a Republican, and we point that out to them. They go, I go, no, he's not a Marxist. I wish he was. Yes. I wish the nominee for the DNC was a Marxist. That would be fucking rad. I mean, I'd be way down with that. But it's like there's no earthly way that he is a I said this. He's a Republican. He's always been one, and the Republican Party has just moved so far to the right that now he's a half an inch to the left of them, barely. Like, which has been the whole Clinton policy has been like, let's just be a millimeter to the left of the Republican Party, and yay, liberals. So yeah, it's going to take populism. It's going to take some sort of unity. It's going to, and if the populism unites progressives and libertarians and working class people, especially like working class people of color and working class, whites who tend to be more conservative, if that group gets unified, then who gives a shit if a handful of college educated assholes in LA and New York still want to vote for their rich person party because it's got a rainbow flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is all they want to do. All right. Where can people follow you online, Fiorella?
Fiorella_IM on Twitter. I'm always on there. Or the Convo Couch. Take a look, subscribe to our channel. We pretty much either go on the road or we live stream 5 times a week. So on either end, we've been on the road this past week and a half. So we will be going back to our live streams. But check us out, the Convo Couch on YouTube.
Well, thank you so much, Fee. Really appreciate it. And thanks for the work you guys are doing. Thanks for going down to Florida and reporting back firsthand how corrupt Debbie Wasserman Schultz is.
Yeah. She doesn't get any better. So we have 2 more years to unseat her. And that's the thing. Like, I think if we can find an opportunity to really start building up these third parties or these outside voices that don't get any attention because people are too busy reforming the party, I think we can actually do something. So thank you for having me, and thank you for the work you do. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, Fee. We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, everyone. Great ways to support the show are go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, where you get bonus content for as little as $2 a month, or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, a blockchain cryptocurrency platform That's the future. Also, GrahamElwood.com, where all my merchandise is on sale and ships exclusively with the United States Post Office. Like my Vigilante Volume 2, The Dark Knight. We only made 50 of them. They're going fast. Go to GrahamElwood.com to support the show. I'm on Venmo and PayPal, P.O. Box, all of that, GrahamElwood.com.